And three, a complaint has been received by the system about the individual with regard to the status or treatment of the individual, or as a result of monitoring or other activities, there is probable cause to believe that such individual has been subject to abuse or neglect, and any individual with a developmental disability in a situation in which the individual has a legal guardian, interpreter, or other legal representative. If a complaint has been received by the system about the individual with regard to the status or treatment of the individual, or as a result of monitoring or other activities, there is probable cause to believe that such individual has been subject to abuse or neglect. Such representative has been contacted by such system upon receipt of the name and address of such representative. Such system has offered assistance to such representative to resolve the situation, and such representative has failed or refused to act on behalf of the individual. J. I have access to the records of individuals described in subparagraphs B and I and other records that are relevant to conducting an investigation under the circumstances described in those subparagraphs, not later than 3 business days after the system makes a written request for the records involved, and have immediate access, not later than 24 hours after the system makes such a request, to the records without consent from another party in a situation in which services, support, and other assistance are provided to an individual with a developmental disability. If the system determines there is probable cause to believe that the health or safety of the individual is in serious and immediate jeopardy, or in any case of death of an individual with a developmental disability, to the extent that information is available, the state shall provide to the system copy of each individual.
What the fuck's going on out there? Tighten up and show some spine. RTB, Black Ops. We need to have a fucking conversation.
It's over. Collect the wounded and get to the CCP.
White nose fly.
It's raining in the night. It's rising in the shadows. We can go through the clouds. We can be faces in the crowd. Dancing in the shadows. Be found.
You'll be dying on your own. Man, who was that dying on their own? Who's dying on their own?
What I'm about to tell you has got to be one of the most effed up things I've read today. There is breaking news coming out of Washington State that ICE has abducted 2 firefighters while they were in the middle of fighting the largest wildfire in Washington State. Yeah, you heard that correct. You heard that correct. ICE snatched 2 firefighters while they were in the middle of fighting a fire. This is Donald Trump's America, y'all. So we are now hearing that late yesterday, Wednesday, August 27th, Border Patrol arrested 2 firefighters. According to CNN, the Bureau of Land Management and U.S. Forest Service had requested support from Border Patrol. The details are not super clear here, but BLM had apparently terminated work contracts for folks who were fighting the Bear Gulch fire in the Olympic National Forest. And they wanted Border Patrol to come in to verify the identities of the personnel present due to the remote location of the work site. Again, I'm not quite sure exactly what that means. Department of Homeland Security said in their statement several discrepancies were identified and 2 individuals were found to be present in the United States illegally, one with a previous order of removal. Those 2 firefighters were apprehended and taken to the Bellingham station near the Canadian border. Border Patrol claimed in their statement that they were not interfering with firefighting activity and that firefighters were still there continuing to make progress on the fire. Now, within the last 20 minutes, there has been a report that has come out in The Guardian with a response from elected officials. And I'll get to that in just a second. But please understand that this fire that is raging right now on the Olympic Peninsula began on July 6th. It was started by a human being, not by lightning or other circumstances. It is considered a human-caused fire. It is only 13% contained as of right now today. A red flag warning remains in effect for that area. There are concerns that gusting winds could significantly worsen firefighting conditions throughout the day, today and tomorrow. Also, just want to remind folks that Elon Musk and Donald Trump fired a bunch of National Weather Service employees whose job it is to track lightning strikes, wind gusts, prevailing winds, all factors that are really important for predicting where wildfires may spontaneously occur due to lightning strikes, and also how wildfires, whether human or natural cause, can spread. Knowing where the winds are gusting and what is happening with wind conditions is crucial for not only controlling fires, but protecting the lives of firefighters. And Donald Trump and Elon Musk fired a whole bunch of those folks. I also reported how a number of weeks ago, the Trump regime claimed that they were all hired up for the wildfire firefighting season. But that simply isn't true. They are massively understaffed, which is why you are having to see BLM and Forest Service bring in outside contractors to fight these fires. Everything the Trump regime is doing, y'all, is making us less safe, less secure. It is weakening us as a nation. It is exposing us to more risk. All so billionaires can get a big, fat tax break. Remember, all of these programs have been slashed, not to save money for us. We're still paying all the same taxes. Middle class people are going to be paying more taxes. The cost of our food is going up. We are having to pay tariffs now on fucking everything. All of this is being done. Our country is being wrecked. Our government is being rendered less functional. Our safety is diminished. Our quality of life is diminished so that Donald Trump and his buddies can get a big, fat tax break. Washington Senator Patty Murray had similar things to say in her statement about this issue. Trump has undercut our wildland firefighting abilities in more ways than one, from decimating the Forest Service and pushing out thousands of critical support staff to now apparently detaining firefighters on the job. She went on to say, this administration's immigration policy is fundamentally sick. Trump has wrongfully detained everyone from lawful green card holders to American citizens. No one should assume this was necessary or appropriate. I also just want to remind you that under the Biden administration, the Department of Homeland Security, ICE, Border Patrol could not conduct any immigration enforcement, quote, at locations where disaster and emergency response relief was being provided, such as evacuation routes or where emergency supplies are being distributed. That makes complete sense, right? If people are being evacuated from an area where there's a natural disaster or an emergency, or people are going to an area to pick up emergency supplies like food, water, and they're afraid that ICE agents might be there to snatch them. You understand what a significant threat that poses and why the Biden administration had that policy. And yet we saw yesterday Border Patrol go into an area where these 2 men are firefighters fighting that fire, and they snatched them. Guardian expanded on Senator Murray's concerns over what's happening. The senator went on to say, here in the Pacific Northwest, wildfires can burn and have burned entire towns to the ground. We count on our brave firefighters who put their lives on the line to keep our communities safe. This new Republican policy to detain firefighters on the job is as immoral as it is dangerous. What's next? Will Trump start detaining immigrant service members? Or will he just maintain his current policy of deporting Purple Heart veterans? Right. And let's keep in mind, too, that the Trump regime is consistently rounding up the wives of our veterans, even those with small children. There's no line that this regime will not cross when it comes to snatching people and stuffing them into concentration camps. They're doing it to American citizens. They're doing it to the spouses of our veterans. They're doing it to our farm workers, doing it to people who are green card holders. They're doing it to folks who live in our community, have been working here for decades, paying their taxes, quietly living their lives, have done it to dozens of American citizen children. They do it to asylum seekers. They're doing it to our firefighters. Senator Murray is absolutely right. This policy is fundamentally sick. What the Trump regime is doing is fundamentally sick. It is not making America great again. Is this who we want to be as a nation? When men and women are risking their lives to fight wildfires, ICE comes in and snatches.
Thanks for playing that. That's ridiculous. That's a crazy report. And it's real.
Boy got brain mashed upon.